It seems like you have seen a lot of people who kind of are lovers of truth, but they fear to say it out loudly.
Think of your practical daily life. Who do you submit to? The truth or the Lord's? Our fundamental allegiance is not to the truth, it is to the powers that be. When you have a heart, then you get a spine. When you will have such a beating heart with love for truth, then you will get a spine that does not easily bend. Picking a partner, sometimes for the entire life. No place in the world does it the way we do. Love is considered immoral, but sleeping with strangers is alright. If you can't have freedom even in such an intimate matter, why will you ever now rebel against anything? There is a very stinking word for that, no? If you sell yourself off for money, we don't need to actually spell it out, but we know what we are doing. Such an intimate thing. Picking a partner, sometimes for the entire life. No place in the world does it the way we do. We literally sleep with strangers. Love is considered immoral, but sleeping with strangers is alright. Yeah, no, not here in Delhi, but just travel a little into the interiors, and that's what is still happening. 60-70% of our population. Yes, we have become progressive. So the girl and the boy get to meet on the terrace for 5 minutes. हाँ जी तो जी आप जी क्या करती जी मैं तो जी भिंडी बनाती जी. And then you sleep with the stranger. What does that leave you with? Does that leave you with any heart? Think of what it does to the mind, the very spirit of those two persons. They are crushed. If you can't have freedom even in such an intimate matter, why will you ever now rebel against anything? As a woman, if you are carrying a stranger's germ in your womb for 9 months, can there be a greater indignity? Somebody touches your arm and leaves a mark, a blemish. You don't like it, do you? And somebody has penetrated your body and left his seed, his cells there, and now you will be carrying them and then bringing up that thing as your own baby, your entire life. Is that not humiliation? Where is love?
Acharya Ji, in this very interestingly, the supposedly the love also blooms and the marriage prospects are also between certain branches. It's just like a business venture.
Right.
So person is in obs gynae and pediatrics, they will marry. So that's
At IIM
win-
Ahmedabad,
win-win.
Major Saab is here, so he'll attest. We had a very interesting episode. We too have affairs galore in the campus. And it's usually the top rankers that walk away with the girls. That's the way the girls decide, not the top rankers. Because everybody is out, available as an option, but only the top rankers are chosen. So we entered in 2001, and just the year before that, 2000, there was this massive earthquake. You remember? Bhuj. So you've seen how the buildings and the dorms are at IIM Ahmedabad. That Old architecture. Louis Kahn? Yes, brickwork. And it's pretty old, 1960s. So one of the bricks atop a dome was loose. And not one brick, two bricks. And the bricks fell because the building was shaking. One of the bricks fell on the topper, and another brick fell on the topper from the other side, the bottom, that is. And then the joke in the campus was, even God does not discriminate on the basis of rank. Then why do these girls do? Even God does not discriminate on the basis of rank. The topper got hurt, and equally, the trailer got hurt. So why are the girls being so discriminative? But that's how it is. Where is love? You pick a man based on his earning potential or current salary or inherited wealth. Actually, there is a very stinking word for that, no? If you sell yourself off for money. Yeah? We don't need to actually spell it out, but we know what we are doing. And same thing applies to the men who sell off their brains and brawns for money. The brain is as much as body as any other part, right? If you are saying I'm selling my brain to the highest bidder, to the topmost recruiter, how is that not prostitution? I'm asking. Wherever there is a relationship that does not involve love, what else do you call it? What else do you call it? It's an exchange, barter. And when that is happening, there is no spirit here. And then you cannot do great things, and then that nation can never be great. And I repeat, that's such a sorry thing, because our fundamental culture is of freedom. The highest virtue is mukti. When you go to the Shad Darshan, the highest virtue is freedom, mukti, liberation. And yet we became a nation of bootlickers. Was there a colony as big as India ever? Ever? No. I have been a student of the Second World War. And there are just so many aspects and micro details related to it I enjoy reading. One of the things I was recently going into was Hitler's attitude towards India. Hitler said, Hitler loved the Brits in the sense that they are pure Aryans. He said India deserves to be ruled by the Brits. And when the Brits are gone, then the Germans will take over. He looked down upon India. And that's why the alliance between Hitler and Subhash Chandra Bose was doomed to collapse. He said these are very inferior people. Yes, they had an Aryan past, but look at them now. They are incapable of self-rule. He said it is fine if the Brits are ruling them. They should not be independent. And once the Brits are defeated, then the Germans will rule them. That's what he intended. He didn't intend India's freedom. No. He said once Russia is conquered, the USSR, then the Germans will cross the Caucasus, the Caucasian mountains, join the Japanese link up with the Japanese from the east, and then divide India into two parts. Two spheres of influence, German and Japanese. The reason was simple. 40 crore people, we were there even at the time of World War II. It was inconceivable for anybody outside India to imagine how such a large number of people can be controlled by those coming from tiny isles northwest of continental Europe. Can you imagine? And when they first came here, think of the 16th and 17th centuries, when the Europeans were first coming here, they didn't have engines really. No steam power. Yet they traveled all the way from there. Think of how they would be traveling, first of all. They traveled and they still conquered. The reason is just one, this. The Brits didn't conquer us. We did this. This has defeated us. Can you let this sink in? Is it believable? With no source of energy, forget nuclear power or electric power or fossil fuel. They didn't even have steam engines. And they were coming all the way from their Cape of Good Hope around. And they come here and such a tiny nation. Such a tiny nation. But they were innovative, they were creative, and they were daring.
As I said, the title is very powerful, Truth Without Apology. So it seems like you have seen a lot of people who kind of are lovers of truth, but they fear to say it out loudly, you know, and they have a lot of shaking inside them while communicating this truth with others. So why do people have this apology while communicating this truth to someone? I guess it is our greed, our
No. The reason you must link to what we were saying just now. Our fundamental allegiance is not to the truth. It is to the powers that be. Think of your practical daily life. Who do you submit to? The truth or the lords? Please. The truth or the lords? That's the thing. And that's why when you side with the truth, when you fall in love with the truth, you have to apologize to the lords. One truth, one master, one center, one destiny. That's Vedant. Right? Satya, Atma, Brahma, one, all one, and nothing but one. Not even one, Advait. Forget about two, not even one. That kind of pointed surrender is what our sages taught us. Instead of surrendering to that one truth, we have been told to bow down to several lords. That's why when it comes to the truth, we are apologetic. We say, sorry, the Lord does not like it, but may I please submit that if you allow me, if you permit, to your pleasure. Seen all these things? Seen how we teach our kids to write applications? Humbly, I beg to submit that today I have ache in my tooth. Humbly I beg to submit. If that is the truth, why are you begging? State the fact. What is this humbly I beg to submit? Would the Lord and the Master accept my submission at his feet? Why? If you are lying about your toothache, then don't write that. Tear away that application. And if you are stating the fact, if the toothache is real, why the hell are you groveling? Why are you rolling in the mud? Drool, drool, drool. That's become our culture. If you are in the falls, you feel secure because you're with the majority, right? Right? And when you know you are in the truth, that's when you experience fear, because the truth is always a minority, at least in our society. Not just a minority, a very vulnerable minority, a very hated minority. And so you keep begging for forgiveness. No, I committed the gravest sin of uttering the truth. Forget about uttering it. I should have never known it in the first place. All boils down to the philosophy you are following. If your philosophy tells you to submit and surrender to several masters, this, that, there is a social authority, there is a political authority, there is a familial authority, there is an institutional authority, there is a religious authority, and on the skies there are several authorities. If that becomes your culture, you will never be a truthful person, because in truth there is no authority but the truth. So how do I bow down to several masters, several lords, worldly or otherworldly? I don't care for anything but the truth. And that's why, otherwise the name of the book is just truth. But I had to say truth without apology, because we indeed are apologetic. Those who wallow in lies, you will find them walking, living, eating, breathing comfortably, and they'll be lauded on public platforms. And the man of truth, he'll be hated, ostracized, and left alone, as you said. And all that is fine. Hate me, expel me, ostracize me. All that is something you can do. But I won't apologize, because that's something I can do. You do what you can. But you won't get an apology out of me.
Acharya Ji, when our love for truth will be so much high that we will not care for anything else, whether whole world is standing against us and we are not hearing.
When you have a heart, then you get a spine. When you will have such a beating heart with love for truth, then you will get a spine that does not easily bend in front of religious, social, political authority.